Centra Clarina. Ballysimon Tyres, Ballysimon Road, Limerick. Catering for all cars, vans and commercial vehicles. 24-hour breakdown assist tyres and batteries. Telephone 061 311 726. Lee's Bar, The Night's Inn, The Square, Newcastle West. Telephone 069 624 50, where all sportsmen meet. Brian Healy Electrical are driven to provide our clients with a complete quality, cost-effective electrical service installation and after-sales care service, which is second to none, while maintaining safety for all and cooperation with all relevant parties.
Alright, good afternoon and you're very welcome to the Streamsport.ie production for Limerick GATV. It is the meeting in Group 1 of this Whitebox Developments Limerick Senior Hurling Championships, a meeting of Ballybrown and Ahane, and Tom Clancy, who will be on commentary duty with you this afternoon. Delighted to say I'm joined by Mark Foley for this one. Mark, a bit of a breeze here this afternoon, but a very important game for both these sides to start the championship.
Yeah, sure. The first game is very important for all teams. Maybe not as important in the Premier Senior competition because you know, 4 out of 6 teams to come out of it, so there is more of a cushion there, or a safety valve. But certainly with the 2 teams involved here, you know, they know that they need to get off the ground running, because there's bigger tests ahead for sure. There is.
Both these sides will have ambitions at this point to knock into that top 4, that big 4 as we call it, with the county champions Doon, Pearshig, Kilmallock and Patrickswell. We know the importance of getting 2 points here. It's very unlikely maybe that the loser here today will you know, be in the shake-up. That'd be my view of it anyway, like, you know. But yeah, it's that probably really focuses the mind for both these sides this afternoon.
It does, yeah. You know, good starters have to battle and all that. But also, I think, you know, just taking an overall view of the championship, I think that probably the top 4 were a little bit stronger there a few years ago. So certainly, even if you lose the game, you're not without hope. I think definitely the top 4 have come back into the pack. I think there's no doubt about that, and definitely the gap is narrowing between all the teams in this competition, and certainly in the second grade as well. I think, you know, a lot of those teams, like some Mungret, Monaleen, etc., you know, Drumlin, Clacken, all of those, Kildime, Pallaskenry, they're not far off these teams either. Like, so I definitely think the gap is narrowing, and I suppose down the line it just makes for a much more competitive competition.
Yeah, perfect. We'll be back with team news shortly, so stay tuned. Okay, good afternoon. You're very welcome to Clahan, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by the referee for today's game, Mr. Johnny Murphy. Johnny, you'll be a familiar name to many around the county. Can you just tell me maybe your background in refereeing, how long you're at it, and maybe what got you embroiled in the first place?
This time I'm at it a long time now. Feel a bit old even if I told you how long I'm at it. Probably. I started in 2000. My first match was actually back in Ballybrown and under 21, under 12 football. That was my first match. So back in 2000. So this is hitting into my 25th year.
No Jubilee celebration so this year then?
No, there's not. No. That's how gone. Look, how I got into refereeing. Very simple. My father was referee. A young garçon going around into matches and stuff. So when it was my turn in to use a whistle, I kind of took it on and never looked back since. And it's amazing because history repeats itself. I'm going to matches now. My young fellas coming to the matches, so that's the way it works.
Yeah, I've seen him there with you at some games as well, and the boys doing umpire as well for you in challenge games and the
like. Yeah, little boys, they do umpires. They love going after sitters, and sometimes you get a few calls wrong, but it's only challenge matches.
Exactly.
So
yeah, very, very good. Yeah, talk to me about your umpires that you have here today with you. What for a game like this now? What are you expecting from your umpires? Because they have a vital role. There's extra pairs of eyes and ears, and
yeah. Look, you have to have a strong team. I have a strong team today. The umpires, what you expect really is the eyes behind my back, you know. They look after a quarter of the field, scores, they can call anything that happens off the ball, you know, so you need a strong team, good linesmen. Look, it takes a lot to referee a match like this. You need good linesmen, good umpires, good teamwork. Get in, get out, no problems. That's all you kind of really want, you know.
Yeah, talk to me about the puck out restart. The game has gone so frantic now at senior club level, even in Premier Intermediate, Limerick and lower. The goalkeepers, they want to play 100 miles an hour when they're losing, and even when it's tight, they want to get that ball out. So what's the role there? What does a referee tell maybe goalkeepers before a game about that?
Well, look, it's simple. It's very, very simple. The ball goes wider over the bar, we blow the whistle, and that stops the game. And to restart the game for a puck out, we blow the whistle. And you know, if the ball goes over the bar, we've got to do our homework, put down the score. Right, that takes a little bit of time, and away we go. If the ball goes wide and everyone's outside the 21, we can move it on. So I like to keep the whole thing moving as long as I'm in control and in control of the score and in control of what's happening on the field. So if things are going fine, we'll move it. If things are getting a small bit out of hand, we'll slow it down a little bit. That's the kind of way.
Game breed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Very good. I've been out at a couple of club games myself and minor and adult games, and people are still roaring for the black card, Johnny, at club level. A gentle reminder that it's not a course in force in hurling. It's in football, of course, at all levels, but no black card here today.
Yes, so as you're getting the taste as well now, Tom, going to the matches and refereeing the matches and doing umpire. So you doing umpire the other day, doing a good job. I suppose no, there's no black card. Some fellas will start roaring for black cards and say, lads, there's no black card today, and we're not doing inter-county. We're a long way from inter-county, but no, bit of fun as well. Just let them know the story and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that.
Now the two captains here today, I think they're both wearing the number 11, Tom Morrissey of Ahane and Aidan O'Connor of Ballybrown. Two names familiar, I'm sure, to a lot of viewers around the county. They're in for the captain's toss, coin toss. What do you say to those lads? Just, I know it's only a brief chat, but what's the sort of message you give to them?
Look, you just you talk to them in sense to get word back to the team what I'm looking for, what I want. You just talk to them, explain. Look, stay away from the head. I'm watching the hand passes, and the manner. Give respect. We give respect back. We look for that. Like we give as much. Like we just want to get on with everybody. So we give him a few little pointers. We'd hope that they'd relate it back to the team when they go into hurdle. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes they just don't revert back that message. But look, all you do is tell them what you're looking for in the game, and be honest, and they'll revert it back to the team, two teams. So
yeah, well, Johnny, wishing yourself and your officials the best of luck this afternoon.
Super. Thanks, Sam. Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, you're very welcome to Clahan. Any good, Jenny? Yeah. Okay, you're very welcome to Clahan. Apologies for difficulty with the sound, but as you can see, we are underway. We are 2.5 minutes into the contest. No score as of yet. And a free presently for Ballybrown. Tom Clancy here, joined by Mark Foley. Belated welcome to Clahan, Mark. Nice afternoon for hurling as we look for the first score again.
Yeah, fairly even Stephen as well so far, but again a wind blowing as we're looking at it from right to left down the field, so that's probably going to be significant. So it looks like a hand need to be a nice bit up at half time.
Yeah, chance from the free for Ballybrown. Aidan O'Connor gone back to take it, lifting and striking, and it's going to tail, is it? It is indeed. It's gone to the right and wide. The first wide of this afternoon's contest. Just to take you through the teams, Ballybrown will line up with Cian Hederman, Ned Quinn, Kenny Power, Keith Punch, Mikey Gavin, Josh Adams, Colin Coughlin, Killian Gavin and Davy Hall, Ross Kenny, Brian Griffin and Barry Adams. Aidan O'Connor captains the side wearing number 14, while James Coughlin wearing 18 and Bobby Smith wearing 22 are into the side. You would expect James Coughlin to play a lot deeper. Missing out from the listed 15 are Barry O'Connor, who wears 13, and Mikey Kiley wearing 15, both of those on the bench. I'll bring you through the hands side in a second. At the moment, Tom Morrissey on the ball in around that midfield, a busy midfield. Ballybrown though look to have spoiled it. In fact, it's still with the men from East Limerick as it's hand passed over the head there, and a chance for Ballybrown to sweep it away, and it's James Coughlin with a short pass, doesn't go to plan though, and Jack Cosgrove with the shot. Cosgrove has the look at the post, the umpires are looking, the umpires seem to like it, and the number 15 Jack Cosgrove opens the scoring. Fine score indeed there, Mark.
Yeah, good score off his left hand side, to be fair, from an acute enough angle out on the sideline. I suppose Ballybrown guilty probably of overplaying the ball there when going through the lines probably wasn't the best option.
Yeah, looking for Ross Kenny there with the long delivery, but won by one of the Ahane men, and this is where the number 7 Daniel Minahan, but his hand pass is not great and allows Ballybrown to come in and scrap for it. Conor Bickford is wearing 18 and he does well, passes it out to Conor Ryan, and Ryan looks for Cosgrove inside and he puts his hurl to it. Keep punch there with close attention, and a second shot at the post from Jack Cosgrove. Has he made it 2 from 2? I think he has, indeed he has. A nice score from the corner for a young player, Mark, and he's showing plenty of endeavour early on.
Yeah, good score, and again able to win his own ball, so they don't have to be going out towards the sideline with their delivery. So good start by Jack Cosgrove and 2 good points for Ahane.
Ballybrown looking long towards Barry Adams, breaks it down there. It's going to come inside there. Dan Morrissey rooting for it, looks to have done something. Aidan O'Connor though gets on it. Aidan O'Connor off the right, tentative, tame enough shot I should say, easily caught by Carl Ryan in the Ahane goal, and he sweeps it up the field now. It's Ronan Fox met by Mikey Gavin and sweeps it down inside. There's a free coming in there, and already the Ahane inside line getting well on top, and a chance for them to go 3 to the good. They're certainly out in front and looking for that ball early on, Mark.
Yeah, excellent use of the ball initially by Cathal Ryan and super control by Ronan Fox, and look, fantastic delivery off his left, just turned and let it into the full forward line. No real chance for the covering defender to get across, and obviously that favours the forward, and unfortunately from a Ballybrown point of view they were forced into the foul there. So good start for Ahane and a chance for Tom Morrissey to open his account.
Yeah, Tom Morrissey with 254 in last year's championship, 39 of those points coming from place balls such as this one, and this is a venue familiar to both of these sides. Plenty of games, senior games played here down the years, and a chance for Morrissey to make it 3 from 3, and third point on the trot to open the game here, and a very good 6 minutes so far from the men from Castleconnell. Ballybrown yet to really get any clean possession. I think it's fair to say, Mark, it's been very scrappy in their forward line so far.
Yeah, kind of a half chance for Aidan O'Connor, but other than that, haven't got really onto the ball yet.
Yeah, here's a chance for David Hall, and Hall does well, and also doing well as Conor Ryan tracked him all the way and flicked it off to Hurley, and Ryan does plenty to tidy up the pieces, sends it inside as Ballybrown trying to get possession on it, and they do sweep it up, but there's nobody there, and a chance for captain Kieran Barry to open the shoulders. And Kieran Barry, has he split the post? I think he has. Kieran Barry brilliant score, but given far too much time and a very inaccurate pass, and he intercepted it easily.
Yeah, not a great clearance in fairness from Ballybrown. Again, it's probably the full forward line was probably the ball to hit there, but misdirected clearance and a great score from Kieran Barry.
As Cian Hederman, returning to senior for Ballybrown, has been vying with a number of other goalkeepers in the last 5 or 6 years. A very competitive spot in the Ballybrown team, but he goes long. Aidan O'Connor gets on it, tracked by two Ahane men, goes inside, knew he was out of catches, so sends it around, gives it to Ross Kenny. Kenny breaking through the middle. What's he going to go for? Kenny goes with the hand pass to Barry Adams. Barry Adams back of the net. Lovely stick passing from Ballybrown. Aidan O'Connor into Ross Kenny, and Barry Adams, wearing 12 but operating at the edge of the square, snaps it and dispatches it to net.
Super play there from Aidan O'Connor, because obviously to see him as a huge threat, and rightly so, because he was by far and away Ballybrown's top scorer last year. So obviously three or four converged on Aidan O'Connor, but he used his head and gave a fantastic pass out, and great interplay from Ballybrown. And once they got in behind the half-back line, it was open country. There seemed to be a lot of space there, and they'll be looking to exploit that as the game goes on. A fantastic goal and well finished.
Yeah, well finished by Barry Adams. It was Ross Kenny who decided not to take what would have been an easy enough point, but passed it off, and they get the goal. Here comes Kieran Barry from his own 45. Has plenty of length on it, but nowhere near the accuracy required. And the first wide of the afternoon for Ahane. Just to bring it through the Ahane team in full, Cathal Ryan is the goalkeeper, Padraig Harnett I should say, Dan Morrissey, and wearing number 18 Conor Bickford, Shane O'Grady, captain Kieran Barry and Daniel Minahan are at 5, 6 and 7. Conor Ryan and Conor Heffernan are the midfield partners, while Tom Morrissey is wearing 11 as Ballybrown come up the other end and look for their reply. Indeed they have, and I think it's Bobby Smith wearing the number 22 who has levelled this game up for the first time just inside the 9th minute. A young player, Mark, would have been on the Limerick 20s football, but now getting his chance as senior, and he marks it there with a nice point. Yeah,
good score initially. Dan Morrissey failed to deal with the ball in, but after that, once it broke, Bobby Smith got onto it, and good finish.
Aidan O'Connor off his left from the 65. It's going to go close. The umpires are looking at it, but it hasn't turned in enough. And a second wide for Ballybrown. Just to bring you through the rest of the Ahane team, as I said, Ronan Fox and John O'Connor are flanking Tom Morrissey in that half forward line. Mark Donlan, Kevin Morrissey and Jack Cosgrove, who you've seen hitting a brace of lovely points already. That's the inside line for Ahane. So changes in position as we see them and as we are aware of them. As Morrissey gets through, this is Tom, and off his right with the advantage. Doesn't need it, I don't think. He slatted it over, his first from play. And a typical Tom Morrissey score.
Yeah, well, very good use of the hurley in fairness. Just left it at an angle and was able to break the ball to his right hand side and get on the second ball then. And surprisingly enough, Mikey Gavin seems to be picking him up. I thought Colin Coughlin was going to be there. Actually, it isn't. It's Josh Adams is probably there picking up Tom Morrissey. But Colin Coughlin at this stage is full back, and Aidan O'Connor in the middle of the field.
Yeah, chance for Killian Gavin to reply quickly. Umpires, though, are going to signal that one wide, and it's third now for the Clorina men, as Cathal Ryan surveying his options. Minimal run into this one, just opens up the right hand side and sends it down to that right wing, and there's a scrap for possession, and Kenny Power is in there. Keith punches in there for Ballybrown again, and here comes Killian Gavin, get met by 3 or 4 Ahane, but does get his pass off to Bobby Smith, and Smith has to turn onto his left, ends up on the floor but gets it back. Smith hand passes it back out to Josh Adams. Adams hand passes it back to Smith, and Smith now with a bit of open country sends it inside looking for Barry Adams. Powerful inside forward. There's a ball breaking inside there, and the all-star fullback of recent years, Dan Morrissey, does well, very well indeed, and pops it up the field. Ahane looking to get their heads up when they have the possession of the ball. Ned Quinn scrapping there with the number 12, that's John O'Connor. No one put their hand to it just yet, and now Ahane will have a chance, and here is O'Connor off the right, nonchalantly enough, and floats it lovely and floats it over the bar. 6 point from just 7 shots for Ahane. They've been efficient so far, and seem to have a little bit more space when the ball goes in as well.
Yeah, definitely, but I suppose even the young lads, they're all big young lads and able to win their own ball. John O'Connor there getting onto the end of things, and lovely score, going backwards off the back foot, and showing good skill level there and a good score.
Yeah, and while Tom Morrissey dominates the scoring, it's a couple of other men is what they'll want this year, as Aidan O'Connor plucks that one out of the sky, races through. Advantage coming for the pull there, and O'Connor goes through and flicks it off the left. Look at that for a score. He carried it from just inside the 65, men swinging out of him, and flicks it over easy as you like. Brilliant reply from Aidan O'Connor, who's team captain this year.
Yeah, great score in fairness. Showed great strength, composure there to hold on to the ball even though he was under massive pressure, and Yeah, certainly food for thought. I just think Aidan he's just a little bit more effective, even though he's very good this year on the inside line with Limerick. I think half forward line, out the field, he's an excellent forward.
Yeah, back on down the other end. Mark Donlan racing through, going to put it into hand now in a second, I'm sure. No, in fact, he hand passes it off. There's a chance for Ahane. Has it been deflected out? It has not. Goes to the left and wide, and Donlan passed it off. And was there a block on the attempt? Well, good diving defensive work by Keith Punch, and disappointing for Ahane that they didn't make something of it. I think it was the full forward, Kevin Morrissey, wearing the red helmet.
Yeah, I suppose initially very, very good movement from Ahane, got inside, and the final ball to Kevin Morrissey was actually a good pass, but I suppose good scramble defence there from Ballybrown to get back and close him out.
Race for possession. Barry Adams is going to win it. The ball is going to stay in play, just flicks it back. But Ahane are again reading the Ballybrown passes. Here is Adams, one of the Limerick under-20s this season. Hand passes it back. Luckily for him, it goes to Kenny Power, and Power off the left sends it direct inside, looking for Brian Griffin, but Morrissey is there. Scrap for possession as Bobby Smith gets on it. Smith hand passes it back to Aidan O'Connor. O'Connor off the back foot. O'Connor's effort, though, under a little bit of pressure, doesn't turn enough for him. And
yeah, it's a difficult one there. He probably had an easier pass out to Brian Griffin there and a simple score, but Aidan went over the shoulder and against the wind, a difficult one, and he'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, ball sent down the other end is scrap for possession again, and it's the number 15, Jack Cosgrove, who's going to get on it. He punched out, meets his marker this time, and here comes Kenny Power, gives it off to Josh Adams off his right, sends it in. It's a 2-on-2 inside. Barry Adams fights for it. Brian Griffin is also fighting for it. Who's going to get a possession? Brian Griffin has it. Brian Griffin pulled on it, back of the net. Brian Griffin. It's dangerous when you don't have the numbers back there, 2-on-2, and Brian Griffin showed great strength to wrestle off his man, and then he finished it. Yeah,
and as well as that, they have a massive physical presence in there. With the two lads inside there, Brian Griffin and Barry Adams, and they're playing the two of them on the edge of the square there, the small square. And Ahane are managing to cover the Barry Adams one with Morrissey. But I think there's Paul Carton is his task with picking up Brian Griffin, and Brian Griffin's a huge man, very strong, and you can see he used his strength there to get that goal, and maybe Ahane will just have to have another look at that.
Yeah, Johnny Murphy had a quick word with the umpires after everything good, and Ballybrown into the lead, I think, for the first time. Indeed, it is the first time this afternoon, so 2-2 for them. They've certainly managed to isolate the full back line as they work the ball up, looking for another score, but coming out with it is the number 18, that's Conor Bickford, and Ahane will carry it out. Here's Tom Morrissey, going to go off the left, blocked down well there by David Hall, but the ball spills to another Ahane man. That's the corner forward, I think it's Jack Cosgrove. Referee allowing play to continue. Ballybrown turn it over, and Killian Gavin sweeps it inside. Barry Adams is going to win that race. Will he put it into his hand? He does. He looks for the post. Does he catch it well? The crowd on the far side like it. Lovely score by Barry Adams. Very effective forward when he gets in the mood, and lovely finish there.
Absolutely, and I suppose when Ballybrown moved that ball a little bit quicker, they seem to be creating very, very good openings. Again, good movement from Barry Adams inside. Just move to the right of the goals, and good score.
Conor Bickford sends it down, and there's a loose ball there. Referee says it's a foul on a Ballybrown man, and I think it's Kenny Power who's been upended, and it's going to be a free here. But after maybe a slow enough start, Ballybrown have definitely set those goals, obviously.
Well, the goals, but I think
made a huge difference.
Absolutely, but I think the goals have probably come as a result of number one, Aidan O'Connor kind of getting the upper hand in the middle of the field, and their half back line kind of grabbing a hold of things over the last 5 minutes or so. And you can just see it there when Ahane had possession of the ball, they swarmed around and managed to turn it over. And again, it's another possession for Ballybrown, another attacking opportunity. So, yeah, it's definitely getting ahead or on top in that middle third.
Colin Coughlin sweeps it up the wing here, but his delivery is a little bit misjudged as Kieran Barry. He was encouraged to shoot there but doesn't. Sends it down to the far wing. It's kept in play, and it comes back to Kieran Barry. Now he's going to have a go. Kieran Barry off his right. Where's that going?
Score.
Straight over the green spot here in Tlahan. Kieran Barry didn't just admire his pass, followed it up, and Barry Adams at one end and a man called Kieran Barry at the other. So good response by Ahane.
Yeah, that's two good scores now from Kieran Barry, good striker, and getting on to the end of things, as you rightly said there, Tom, not admiring his clearance, just giving it and going straight away, looking for the return, and got on to the end of things, and a very, very good score.
Yeah, Cian Hitterman just encouraged to move his hurley bag as he looks up for his options here. These sides last met in the 2021 championship in what was a relegation playoff from this group in the condensed COVID format, as Ballybrown through David Hall get on it, and Hall just can't get a clean possession of it, and good fighting there from Conor Bickford, I think it was. In fact, it's Conor Ryan, I should say, and Ryan off the right. What's he done with it? Well, he's won his own ball and he's now hit his own score. Conor Ryan, lovely stuff.
Yeah, the value of persistence there, great block down initially, and fantastic finish there from Conor Ryan. Just something interesting there as well, like Tom, Brian Griffin is this obviously Ahane team as a threat, and he's moved out to the left corner forward position. Dan Morrissey is following him, which leaves Barry Adams on the edge of the square, the much smaller man, so certainly advantage there. Yeah.
Well, the ball might have been better intended for Barry Adams from Rosskenny, but look for Brian Griffin instead, and Morrissey able to pull it up. But just looking at it's a mismatch, and this is no disrespect to Harnett, but he is obviously maybe given 5 or 6 inches to Barry Adams, and Barry Adams is a powerful man, as we've already seen.
That's it, and Brian Griffin, clever enough, is dragging Tom Morrissey whenever he can out towards the sideline to leave a one-on-one at the edge of the square. So yeah, that's I suppose good enough strategy from Ballybrown, and they'll be hoping to capitalise on it.
Yeah, Ballybrown managed this season by Kevin Lally, who was a selector under Henry Shefflin. Ball's going into Brian Griffin. Griffin doesn't even need to gather it. Missed by Morrissey, picked up by Griffin, and just as Mark Foley was talking about, Brian Griffin playing some cute stuff inside, didn't put it into the hand as well, dispatched it right-sided to the net, and 3 goals already for Ballybrown, making hay on that inside line.
Absolutely, and all coming from direct ball. I mean, some people would have you think like that there's not a place for it in the game anymore, but certainly today it's bearing fruit for Ballybrown. They'll be very happy with their start.
Yeah, Brian Griffin with Josh Adams coming out with it here now, but Brian Griffin with his 2nd goal of the afternoon, and just when Ahane had responded with 2 points to, I suppose, a run of 1-2 for Ballybrown, they get sucker punched with another goal, and very uncharacteristic from Dan Morrissey to miss a ball like that. It's really, really rare for him to miss a ball like that.
Yeah, in fairness, very, very seldom you see that happening, but just misjudged the bounce, and when you do that as a fullback, it's danger.
It sure was, punished by the 31-year-old Ballybrown man, and scrap for possession again. Who's going to come up with it? You just feel Ballybrown will be delighted with this start against what is a gentle enough breeze, but a breeze nonetheless. Ball passed off to Aidan O'Connor. Is he going to take his point here? I think he is. Aidan O'Connor does. Half thought about, I think, bearing down for goal, but decided, do you know what, we'll keep that scoreboard moving.
Yeah, and in fairness to Ballybrown, big mobile, strong forward line. They're not playing out to the corner flags. They're using their advantages, winning the first ball and throwing it out then to runners who put the ball over the bar.
Mikey Gavin and his man wrestling before the ball came, but Gavin joins in and gets it again the 2nd time. Sends it off to, but it's been intercepted. There's a chance of a strike on goal, and has that gone over? I think it has. Not sure who the player was. In fact, it was the number 15 again, Jack Cosgrove. His 3rd effort here in Ahane, and his 3rd point. Brilliant stuff.
And Ahane will be very happy with their young lads. They've really settled into the game, and they're doing very well. So I suppose it's not all bad from an Ahane point of view, but certainly they don't want to be kicking on now with the wind at their backs.
Yeah, Johnny Murphy just having a quick word with John O'Connor. Nothing doing, but as he's discussed with us pre-match, just trying to manage the game. As Ballybrown goes short, and Ed Quinn looks for Aidan O'Connor, and Aidan O'Connor's cousin David Hall gets on it. Aidan gets it now with marshalled well by his inter-county teammate Morrissey. Sent inside now. There's a bit of a spare man back there for Ahane, and that's a little bit more better from them from the defensive point of view. Daniel Minahan under the dropping ball and sweeps it down the field, and the ball has gone out over the line. Mike Sexton, the linesman there, as it's going to be a free, or a line ball I should say, to Ballybrown. And trotting over to take it is Mikey Gavin. Interestingly, 3 men with long-term knee injuries for Ballybrown back in action today. Mikey Gavin and Josh Adams both suffered cruciate injuries last season, and James Coughlin suffering a dislocated knee after playing very well in a couple of rounds of championship. So great to see them back and performing to such a high level.
And doing quite well, to be fair. Josh Adams has really settled to his task there in the last 10 minutes or so, holding that back line together, and Mikey Gavin is doing his bit as well, so fair play to them after long-term injuries for being back and performing so well.
Yeah, Kieran Barry going to take the line ball. Big crowds in front of us and down on that sideline there for from the benches, but with a huge crowd over on the far side as the ball comes out to Ned Quinn. Quinn previously on a Limerick minor panel back in his own day, as was this man here, Brian Griffin, but beaten to it by Padraig Harnett, starting to try and wrestle back some control of that battle as John O'Connor has the space and sweeps it over, and John O'Connor wearing the number 12 shirt. And you've liked to look at him so far, I think, Mark.
Yeah, good score again. All came from the ball won in the cornerback position there, out in front of Brian Griffin there, Padraig Harnett, and good use of the ball down to John O'Connor and a great finish.
Yeah, 22 minutes gone, and we've had 17 scores. There's going to be an 18th here, is there? No, in fact, that one has tailed to the left. So 7 scores to 10, but Ballybrown leading by the 3 points as Mikey Gavin gets on. He's going to have a look at the post, encouraged to carry it, encouraged to have a shot. It's going to go close, going to stay in play. Barry Adams and Morrissey wrestling for it, and this time 3 back there for Ahane, and they can pick up the pieces, swept down there and keep punch going in the air, but caught well there by Cosgrove, and he's going to have another look at the post, trying to wrestle a bit of space for himself, passes it backwards. Johnny Murphy, the referee, happy to let play continue, and here comes Colin Coughlin. Coughlin coming out with it, a free coming because pulled on the way, and he's going to join in this attack now. He gives it to Killian Gavin. Killian Gavin gives it back to Coughlin. Coughlin just falling way to his left hand side. Has it gone across the post? It has tailed to that far side, and good play, but the finish didn't match the build up for Ballybrown.
Yeah, it looks like Colin Coughlin is out around the field a bit now. He started obviously in the full back line, and got onto the end of that opportunity there, and unfortunately just went wide on the right hand side. But yeah, it looks to be taking a position further up the field now.
Yeah, bit of an injury break here, and water plenty being run on, but Johnny Murphy now has signalled for a restart, so water off please. Very warm day, I'm sweating here looking at a mark, so fluid's very important on a day like today. Ball comes down to this left channel right at the sideline, and Tom Morrissey, I think it is. Brilliant stuff. I just lost sight of it myself, but he didn't. He saw the post, and 3 in a row now for Ahane.
Yeah, well, it all came from the puck out again. The left hand side emptied out, and Tom experienced enough obviously at this stage to get into it, and a good finish.
Aidan O'Connor blocked down, and that gives life to the Ahane challenge as they come back through Conor Heffernan. Kieran Barry's blocked down. Aidan O'Connor on him like a rash, flicks it away as he goes to pick it. Ballybrown battling for it. Killian Gavin just can't get it into his grasp. Brian Griffin though does. What's he going to do? Hand passes it back. Here's Kenny Power, and Power switches play just over, cooks it. Could see what he was trying to do, but didn't catch his pass. He actually put way too much on it. So, but Brian Griffin really nuisance, and you could see him there. He's winning the ruck ball as well. It's not just a clean ball he's looking for either.
Well, himself and Barry Adams there, 2 big men, and they pushed up Killian Gavin there as well, another big man, and not afraid to kind of go direct. And when they don't win the ball, they're very comfortable winning those second balls and those ruck balls, and they're throwing it out to strike runners then, and they're very accurate normally.
Yeah, as a Ballybrown man myself, I'm not sure was I on the same diet as these lads, but the ball is swept inside. Going to go close. Is it going to go all the way? It is. It's Ross Kenny off his left, another huge man, and his first score of the afternoon.
Great score again, and I suppose for the umpteenth time, Ahane just been dominated a bit physically by Ballybrown, especially around the middle third, and Ballybrown making it pay.
Yeah, Tom Morrissey goes in for the roll lift, but Ned Quinn is there to disrupt him, and breaking onto it is Conor Ryan. Ryan can't get a clean shot away. Tom Morrissey's going to get back on this. Josh Adams there for company. Ball handled out, but back it comes now to Conor Ryan. Ryan just flicks it inside, but to no one in particular, and Ballybrown will come up with it as they have an extra player or 2 back there to try and carry it up the field. Into a bit of a car crash there. Again, here comes Killian Gavin. Tries to break the tackle and does well. Sweeps it up this near channel. Brian Griffin there, but ahead of him is Daniel Minahan, and Minahan cleverly pirouettes out of the challenge, sends it across to Harnett. Harnett gets on it. Harnett onto the 65, going to find one of his shooters. That's John O'Connor. We've seen what he can do already. This is off the left hand side from the centre of the field, and John O'Connor, lovely stuff from him, and that's a dozen points now for Ahane.
Yeah, another good score from John O'Connor. Left or right, it doesn't really matter to him. Very accurate, and I think he's gone in around the centre forward position now. It's very effective getting onto the end of things and coming deep, getting his ball, and well able to strike the ball over the bar from 70 plus yards.
Yeah, there's a foul before the ball even arrives on Ross Kenny, and as far as I'm aware, I think all of the 3-5 that Ballybrown has scored so far has been from play, so chance for Aidan O'Connor to strike a first point from a free this afternoon. It's a reminder, later on this afternoon or this evening at 7 p.m. we'll have a second game in association with streamsport.ie. That will be the repeat of last year's county final, Doon versus Napearshey. That is in Kilmallock from 7, so do join myself and TJ Ryan for that one. Promises to be a cracker as Aidan O'Connor just goes through his routine. those goals doing plenty for the Ballybrown cause in this opening half, but they'll be well aware that 4 of the last 5 scores have gone to Ahane, so this is an important one for O'Connor. Goalkeeper gives it the little flick of the hurley. He knows that's gone straight over, and just stems the tide a little bit. Brilliant free taker.
That's great striking again, drilling it into the breeze, and great finish again from Aidan O'Connor.
Yeah, Ahane quick to get on with it, and here's Morrissey. Kenny Power for company. Sends it back to Conor Ryan. Conor Ryan from the middle of the field. Where's that going to go? And it's an immediate response. Great work by Morrissey, and a great finish to boot by Conor Ryan. Always there on the shoulder has Ryan been so far, and he sends it over.
Yeah, Tom's shown his experience there. Looked to go into the left on his left hand side, but obviously that road was blocked, and turned back and gave a lovely pass to Conor Ryan.
Yeah,
a few of the Ballybrown crowd were looking for over carrying, but Tom was well able to get the pass off, and a fantastic finish from Conor Ryan.
Yeah, as a sub on the Ahane team, it's Conor Heffernan wearing 9 has been replaced, and in his place is Stephen Power wearing number 17. So the Ahane management, I don't think it didn't look to be an injury, but the Ahane management headed up by John Meskel, quick to roll the dice, and the ball from the puck out sent down. Kieran Barry bats it back. Tom Morrissey going for it. Kenny Power there with him. Morrissey, can he get a hold of it? He can't. As what his referee decided is here, it's a free in. There were a bit of a stalemate. Not sure what the free was for, but I don't think anyone is protesting it. Oh, I picked it off the ground, did he?
On the ground, yeah, touching on the ground. Yeah,
Mickey Gavin wearing 5. So it should be a routine enough score for Morrissey from here. Hordes of children behind us, honing their skills. Some of them not overly interested in the match, but I'm sure they'll be quick on for autograph hunting afterwards as well.
Mullinoiga.
That's it. Yeah, great to see different club colours here as well, as Morrissey lines this one up. And Morrissey, one of the more simpler routines, but nevertheless effective. And that brings the score a little bit closer again. Ballybrown narrowly ahead by just 2 points now. Ball broken down again, and they're starting to break those puck outs, and no one looking for the clean catch, keeping it simple, just get the ball to ground or get it out of the danger zone. But O'Connor finds Hall coming in on the 20 off his left. That's his favourite side, and David Hall dispatches that one lovely. Good link up play with Aidan O'Connor, and Hall punishes him with the finish.
And certainly there's a trend, Tom, when that ball goes in behind Ahane's half back line, huge space there, and Ballybrown are capitalising on it.
Yeah, and a free from the puck out there. Johnny Murphy saw the early engagement. I think it was Kevin Morrissey who pulled it out of the sky, but illegally so. I think he might have played the hurley maybe before the ball arrived, so he just can't do it. But it's a free now for Ballybrown, and Aidan O'Connor is going to go back to take it. Maybe a couple of years ago when Aidan first started playing adult hurling, was probably Colin Cockton was probably taking this, but I'm sure Aidan has sharpened up his ones from range and probably fancies it from anywhere really 100 metres plus really, so he trots back to line this one up. Son of Joe O'Connor, of course, who captained Limerick back in the early 90s. And O'Connor from his own half is going to go short, and the goalkeeper as well pulls it down from around the crossbar and spoons it out to Daniel Minahan, and Minahan just sweeps it down the field. Josh Adams and Tom Morrissey, former teammates at under 21 level with Limerick, and Adams wins this battle, spins it across looking for David Hall. Hall one-handed can get it into his grasp. Can he? No. Second attempt, does well. Hand passes back to Ross Kenny, and Kenny off the left. Does he fire it through the sky? He does. Lovely score straight over the bar, and clever from David Hall. He knew if he caught it, he knew he would have been nudged out.
Very clever, definitely, and always dangerous rising the ball by the sideline, but he was clever enough there to get the half pass off straight away, but before handling, and an excellent finish there again from Ballybrown. They'll be very happy with their first half.
They will indeed, 3-8 now to 14 points they lead, as we have gone to half time here. Mark, just sum it up for me. Ballybrown obviously leading by 3 points, but Ahane very much in this game as well.
Yeah, scoring freely for 14 points, they'll be happy enough with that. Obviously the goals they'll be disappointed with, and seems as well in comparison or contrast to the start of the first half, the wind has died down a bit, so maybe the advantage isn't as strong in the second half with Ballybrown as it might have been. And even Stephen enough, there's only a couple of points in the game. Obviously Ahane will have to open in the second half, and the first 10 minutes will be critical in that.
Yeah, well, we'll just head for a break here, but at half time here, Clon, is Ballybrown 3-8, Ahane 14. We'll be back very shortly.
O'Sullivan Centre Clarina, your one-stop shop. From Rooster's Peri Peri to Caramico Pizza, Centre Clarina satisfies every craving. Pamper your pooch at our wash and wag station, or grab a coffee at the Creamery Cafe and relax in our seating area. Experience it all at Centre Clarina. Ballysimon Tyres, Ballysimon Road, Limerick. Catering for all cars, vans and commercial vehicles. 24-hour breakdown assist tyres and batteries. Telephone 061 311 726. Lee's Bar, The Night's Inn, The Square, Newcastle West. Telephone 069 624 50, where all sportsmen meet. Brian Healy Electrical are driven to provide our clients with a complete quality, cost-effective electrical service installation and after-sales care service which is second to none, while maintaining safety for all and cooperation with all.
And Kenny off the left, does he fire through the sky? He does. Lovely score straight over the bar. And
all relevant parties.
Clever from David Hawley. If he caught it, he knew he would have been nudged out.
Very clever, yeah, definitely, and always dangerous.
Pass doesn't go to plan though. And Jack Cosgrove with the shot. Cosgrove has the look at the post. The umpires are looking. The umpires seem to last. Doesn't go to plan though. And Jack Cosgrove with the shot. Cosgrove has the look at the post. The umpires are looking. The umpires seem to like it. And the number 15 there with close attention, and a second shot at the post from Jack Cosgrove. Has he made it 2 from 2? I think he has. Indeed he has. Plenty of games, senior games played here down the years, and a chance for Morrissey to make it 3 from 3. And third point on the trot up, but there's nobody there, and a chance for Captain Kieran Barry to open the shoulders. And Kieran Barry, has he split the post? I think he has. Kieran Barry sends it around, gives it to Ross Kenny. Kenny Birkin through the middle. What's he going to go for? Kenny goes with the hand pass to Barry Adams. Barry Adams back of the net. Lovely. Conor Ryan and Conor Heffernan are the midfield partners, while Tom Morrissey is wearing 11 as Ballybrown come up the other end and look for their reply. Are aware of them as Morrissey gets through. This is Tom, and off his right with the advantage. Doesn't need it, I don't think. He slotted it over. His first from play. Put their hand to it just yet, and now Ahane will have a chance. And here is O'Connor off the right, nonchalantly enough, and floats it lovely, and floats it. Guy races through. Advantage coming for the pull there, and O'Connor goes through and flicks it off the left. Look at that for a score. He carried it from off to Josh Adams off his right, sends it in as a 2-on-2 inside. Barry Adams fights for it. Brian Griffin is also fighting for it. Who's going to
get a possession? Brian Griffin has it. Brian Griffin pulled on it, back of the net. Brian Griffin. It's dangerous when will he put it into his hand? He does. He looks for the post. Does he catch it well? The crowd on the far side like it. Lovely score by Barry Adams. Very play. And it comes back to Kieran Barry. Now he's going to have a go. Kieran Barry off his right. Where's that going? Straight over the green spot here in Clahan. Kieran Barry from Conor Bickford, I think it was. In fact, it's Conor Ryan, I should say. And Ryan off the right. What's he done with it? Well, he's won his own ball, and he's now hit his own score. Conor Ryan.
The edge of the square. So yeah, that's I suppose good enough strategy from Ballybrown, and they'll be hoping to capitalise on it.
Yeah, Ballybrown managed this season by Kevin Lally, who was a selector under Henry Shefflin. Ball's going into Brian Griffin. Griffin doesn't even need to gather it. Missed by Morrissey. The let ball passed off to Aidan O'Connor. Is he going to take his point here? I think he is. Aidan O'Connor does. Half thought about, I think, bearing time. Sends it off to... But it's been intercepted. His chance of a strike on goal. And has that gone over? I think it has. Starting to try and wrestle back some control of that battle as John O'Connor has the space and sweeps it over. And John O'Connor wearing the number 12 shirt on a day like today. Ball comes down to this left channel right at the sideline. And Tom Morrissey, I think it is. The Ballybrown man myself, I'm not sure. Was I on the same diet as these lads? But the ball is swept inside. Going to go close. Is it going to go all the way? It is. It's Ross. Find one of his shooters. That's John O'Connor. We've seen what he can do already. This is off the left hand side from the centre of the field. And O'Connor, scores have gone to a hand. So this is an important one for O'Connor. Goalkeeper gives it the little flick of the hurley. He knows that's gone straight for company. Sends it back to Conor Ryan. Conor Ryan from the middle of the field. Where's that going to go? And it's an immediate response. Great work by Morrissey. Lines this one up. And Morrissey, one of the more simpler routines, but the 20 off his left, that's his favourite side. And David Hall dispatches that one lovely. Good link-up play with Aidan O'Connor. An attempt, so does well. Hand passes back to Ross Kenny. And Kenny off the left. Does he fire it through the sky? He does. Lovely score straight over the bar. You're very welcome back to Claughaun for this afternoon's Limerick Senior Hurling Championship clash between Ballybrown and Ahane. It's a tight game here, 3-8 for Ballybrown, 14 points for Ahane. And just to give a shout out to Jack Loftus and Ronan O'Sullivan, two proud Ballybrown men cheering on their club here this afternoon, among a plethora of youngsters from both clubs shouting on their teams. As you can see, the squads just making their way out from the changing rooms at the interval. Mark, Ballybrown I'm sure will be thrilled with that first half. What will Ahane have done to maybe stem that tide, that difficulty they had in the full back line, because it was a big concern for them in that first half?
Well, let's say get the matchups anyway, right? Tom, I think that would be critical. I think Dan Morrissey really needs to mind the square, and whoever comes into that area, he needs to be the guy picking that player up.
Ballybrown get on it straight away through Aidan O'Connor. It gets the hand pass, and Aidan O'Connor starts as he means to go on in this second half. A 4th point for him.
In that player up. An excellent score again from Aidan, left or right. You know, I mean, he kind of made his name as a centre forward with that Limerick under 20 team there a couple of years ago, and just coming onto balls like that, he's very accurate and well able to spot opportunities. So yeah, he's taken off from a very good campaign this year with Limerick and played very well in the first half.
Yeah, Ballybrown trying to get on it. There's a good crowd over there. There's a frontal charge there on Kenny Power, and Johnny Murphy, I think for the first time this afternoon, is going to go to the pocket for a carte de buis. Bit of a cheap shot, I think. Didn't catch who the hand player was, but
I just marked on and just, I suppose, over exuberant there with the shoulder, caught him a little bit high, and I mean, no malice or anything like that, but definitely a free that deserved. And Ballybrown have another chance, even though it's a long way out. Aidan O'Connor has the aid of the breeze, and he'll certainly fancy his chances from this range even.
Well, indeed, yeah. 4 now between the sides, and hopefully from their point of view they're going to try and streak away. Give Ahane very little to work with in the second half, but frees like this could be crucial, and follow through lovely from O'Connor as it just tailed. Oh, it's hit the post. Where's it gone? The umpire is reaching for the flag. It flicked the left post and went over the bar, and needed everything at that post, I think, to steady it up. And
yeah, but again, fantastic, real pure striking from Aidan O'Connor, and a fantastic score yet again.
Yeah, you were mentioning Mullinoga, and I'm sure any youngster that takes frees could learn a thing or two from Aidan, as Josh Adams clears it, but intercepted by his opposite number, Kieran Barry, and Tom Morrissey gets on it. Good touch by Adams, the helmet a little bit loose, and hand passes it to David Hall. Where's that gone? It's just gone out over the line here in front of us, and Johnny Murphy's actually telling Josh Adams he needs to change the helmet, and he's told him if it comes loose again. Got to be with today's marker, no helmet sack. Do you remember those?
That's last century now at this stage, Tom. We won't mention that.
Yeah, 2008 or 9, I think the rules changed, and suddenly we couldn't see the likes of John Milan and all the rest of them with the sunburn on their foreheads as the ball flicked towards goal. No real conviction in that from Cosgrove. 3 points for him in the first half, but unable to add from it here. Cian Hederman opens the shoulder, sends it long for Brian Griffin, but missed, and picked up there by one of the hand defenders, Morrissey, and Adams going for it, and Adams both missed the ball. I think Adams then played there hurley of Morrissey.
I'd say initially it was a good flick, but it was a push in the back then maybe after that.
Okay.
And actually, he's done a good job on Tom Morrissey, Josh's, and Tom was moving around the place. Was in corner forward there a few minutes ago, but seems to be back out around the half forward line now. But Josh Adams will be happy enough with his half's work so far, and has started off okay in the second half as well. I suppose they'll be happy enough with their scoring. Obviously the goals are the big worry, so they'll really need to shut up shop in the second half, continue their scoring trend to claw this back.
Morrissey in a similar position as Aidan O'Connor, but obviously heading the other way, and goes through this simple routine and makes it look simple. I can tell you it's not, but first score of the second half, and just needed in some way to keep a hand, to get them kind of back into the contest, and a good strike by Tom. So Ballybrown go long. Ross Kenny with the yellow helmet, looking for it. Is it going to break? But swept up well by one of the defenders. It's again the cornerback, Padraig Harnett. He sweeps it up the field and scrambled for possession there. And I think it's Cosgrove and Punchhead having a great ding-dong battle this afternoon. There's no doubt about it. James Coughlin goes in a little bit eager to win the ball, and just upends the Ahane man. And another chance for Morrissey to knock one over the bar.
Again, Ahane doing a lot better on the Ballybrown long puck out at the start of the second half, managing to get their hands on the second ball there yet again, and get off their attacks, and if they keep that up, well, it'll limit the amount of damage they can concede, because you're avoiding the ball going into the half back line or going into the full forward line. And a lot of the damage that was done in the first half was a result of the Ballybrown forwards and midfielders getting in behind the Ahane half back line, and certainly they're doing a lot better in the start of the second half in regards to that.
So Morrissey, 3 metres beyond the 45, but given the angle, he's just north of 50 metres, I'd say, from goal. Outside the scoring arc in football, as we can see as well. So easier than the last one, but Breeze just picking up as he lifts and strikes, and doesn't do much to affect him. And 2 in a row for him and 2 in a row for Ahane. So back to a 3-point game again, as you were at the interval. As Cian Hederman takes his time over this, previously on minor and 21s panels with Limerick. Back now, having taken a little bit of a break from the games, been involved with coaching as well out in UL with some of the fresher sides. As ball breaks through, Aidan O'Connor's going to get on, he's going to pull on it, is he? Where's it gone? Oh, inches wide. I wasn't sure had it hit the stanchion or not, but decided to pull on it. We don't see that too often, and as a big moment, Mark, potentially, because that could have put clear daylight between the sides. A 4 goal would have potentially been curtains for Ahane. Yeah,
I don't think Aidan realised how much time he had. He could have risen that ball, but elected to hit it off the ground, and just didn't connect it with it perfectly. Screwed off the hurley and just wide in the left hand side.
Mark Donlan fighting for the possession here. Donlan does well, takes his solo, sends it into the sky, but hasn't straightened it up enough. It goes across the goal and wide. Done well to win it out in front of, I think it was Ned Quinn and indeed Colin Coughlin were there for company, and Cian Hederman goes short and gets the puck out back, looks for Ross Kenny, and Kenny pulls it out of the sky. People will of a certain vintage will remember his father, Spider, hurling for Ballybrown, sends it inside to Barry Adams. Adams is going to turn his man. Adams dispatches it to the net. Look at that.
Great score.
Pulls it out of the sky, turns and gives the fist pump because he's buried it to the net. A second goal for him.
Yeah.
And it's a simple old game at times, Mark.
Well, we were talking about it at half time. To be fair, Ballybrown have a big, strong, kind of physical team, and they're playing to their advantages. A great take in the air by Ross Kenny, and didn't elect to deliver it into the corner flag, straight into Barry Adams, who won it in the air on a great finish.
Yeah, and here he is again, David Hall looking for him a little bit further from goal this time. Oh, lovely little roll lift, I should say. Gets on it, but his hand pass is intercepted, and the net result is a line ball for for Ballybrown, I should say. But now, clear daylight, 6 points between the sides for the first time this afternoon. Ahane have to change something here, Mark, because it's not working.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, Barry Adams there again. Dan Morrissey have elected to leave him on Brian Griffin, and Barry Adams is doing a lot of damage as well. So maybe it's something they'll look at to try and to stymie his influence.
Yeah, here's Josh Adams in open country, and Adams, well, he didn't need a second invitation to fire one over from there. First cousin of Barry, and now he's on the score sheet. As I think Ballybrown are rolling the dice. Off goes Kenny Bauer wearing the 3 shirt, but operating further out the field, as you would have seen. In comes Lee Doolan wearing 20, just back from his travels recently. So fresh legs, and Doolan looking to get under the puck up, but it's gone beyond him, and again tussles inside. There's a chance for Kevin Morrissey. We haven't really seen much of him so far. Colin Coughlin for company, hurleys and all flying out of the challenge there. And Johnny Murphy there to keep an eye on things, and nothing doing as Lee Doolan comes up, but it hand passes it inside to James Coughlin. Coughlin wrapped legally, so switched across. This is dangerous for Ballybrown. They want to tidy this one up, as good hand pass by Ned Quinn, just got away from the tackle of Morrissey and swept up the field by Josh Adams, and a couple of men jostling for it, but Ahane this time have numbers back there, including Conor Bickford. Sends it inside. They're not tidying it up well though. Bobby Smith there for company. Well, we've stopped the game. Oh, there was no advantage for Ahane, and there's going to be a free in their own corner. But both full back lines, Mark, at times dicing with it a little bit, and all about trying to keep the ball, I know, but sometimes you're better off just clearing your lines.
Yeah, and I suppose Ballybrown playing the ball out there, and I suppose that on that occasion they decided to deliver the ball once they get it out to the platform into the corner, which isn't like them. They normally like to go a little bit direct in the hand, not dealing with it then after that.
Yeah, possession gathered by James Coughlin, flicks it towards Doolan, but overcooked, and Ross Kenny will be there for him. Kenny in a yellow helmet, just a little brick flick to James Coughlin, who kept his run going, gives it out to Killian Gavin. Killian Gavin looks for a support runner, that's Lee Doolan, opens the shoulders off the right. The support on the far side from Clorine, I like it, as Lee Doolan has made an impact with a score not long after coming on. And good use of the ball by Ballybrown.
Good use of the ball.
Found someone in
Yeah.
clear open grass to have a shot.
Absolutely, and of course Lee Doolan was around for a while now. You know, when you're on top defending a lead like that.
Oh, good response at the other end, and it's a great score by John O'Connor, his fourth.
Yeah.
He really is a great shooter when he gets the opportunity, and didn't need a second invitation there.
No, a real prospect there, to be fair, and fine athlete, big physical man as well, and again very comfortable off both sides.
Yeah, badly needed score for Ahane.
And the ball again.
There's 17th. Here he is looking for a fifth off the right this time. Where is that one gone though? The umpires are looking, and Patsy Coffey on that side has decided that one though has escaped the clutches of the post. It's going to be wide, but I wonder what either side will have off the bench as well to try and impact this game, to try and change things as the game goes on. Ned Quinn gets on it. Quinn into Doolan. Doolan. Oh, hand pass not the best, but it does find its way to David Hall, and he flicks it towards the runners, but there's a bit of green and gold in the path of it, and it's sent up now to Cosgrove. Oh, he's done well this afternoon, won a lot of ball out in front, sends it inside. Kevin Morrissey 1-on-1. He's just 40 metres from goal. The strike though did not match the build-up play, and it's an easy one for Cian Hederman to pick up. He sends it out to Ross Kenny. Ballybrown really starting to throw the ball around now in the second half, and here's Lee Doolan leaning backwards a little bit, or leaning out to the side, and Lee Doolan, as he put it all the way, pulled out of the air by the goalkeeper Cathal Ryan. He's done well on 2 occasions with that, and the referee has decided it's a foul by Barry Adams on him. Referee, or the goalkeeper I should say, down holding his ear. What you see in that, Mark?
I suppose, look, there might have been a bit of contact on the ear, but definitely it looked like Cathal didn't fancy Barry Adams coming at him like
I wouldn't blame him.
No, the big red monster with the red helmet. Yeah. So a bit of respite for Ahane, and they really need to get a couple of scores to get their challenge underway. Yeah,
water on and water off quickly as Ahane chasing this game now. Getting on with it. The last third of the game now we're into. Interesting that it's 16 scores to 17, but Ballybrown 7 to the good as Morrissey tries to escape Colin Coughlin and does well to do so. Off his left. Umpire's going to reach for that flag. Brilliant score by Tom Morrissey.
Yeah. Better use of the ball there, and obviously Tom, with all his experience, feinted right, then turned on his left, and he's probably nearly more accurate off his left than he is off his right, especially on that left side.
At times with those inter-county players it's very hard to tell which side they prefer, but certainly a nice score off his left on that occasion. Ned Quinn is going to pull it out of the sky, and James Coughlin is there to try and rise it. He does. You'd be interested to see how his body holds up after a difficult season last year with that injury, and it comes out to Ross Kenny. Kenny gets on it. Kenny, what's he going to do? He's going to knock it over, is he? It is indeed. It's a 3rd point for Ross Kenny. And just when Ahane were hoping to build up a bit of momentum, Ballybrown are quickly able to reply, and the powerful forwards doing some damage again.
Yeah, absolutely. All able to hurl and all able to win their own ball, and certainly clicking through the gears now.
Ned Quinn going back towards his own goal and does well to send it up the line. There's a race for it there. Is Mikey Gavin. The ball is going to stop nicely for him. Was onto his favoured left. Just pops that towards goal, but didn't have the accuracy on it, and it's a wide for him. Just again a reminder that we will indeed have a bit of adjusting on after the ball, but a reminder that the second game this afternoon at 7 p.m. is Doon versus Napiershig. Also in this group there's again players grappling where the ball is not, as Aidan O'Connor from the centre of the field, and don't think that's going to go all the way. No, it's not. It's going to tail to the right and wide, and there's going to be a sub on this near sideline. I'm just waiting to see who it is. Ballybrown are sending in Ross Griffin, the younger of the Griffin brothers, and he replaces the older of the Gavin brothers. That's Killian Gavin gone off, and Ross Griffin is in.
Yeah, Ross, another good, powerful man, good hurler as well. But Aidan O'Connor gone back in centre forward, and again very good at coming deep. And I suppose the thing about him coming deep, when he gets on the ball, he's a threat no matter where he is on the field, because he can strike the ball comfortably left and right. So he's not looking to knit the play together or any of this kind of stuff. If it's on, it's on, but he's looking to score when he gets on the ball. It's a real threat for Ballybrown.
Sub for Ahane, and you just see him straight into the action there. Will McCormack wearing 19, as Ross Kenny powers through the challenges there. Does well, gets it on to Hurley now. Going to strike it off to Hurley. His shot is just a little bit off, and you can actually hear some of the groans from some Ballybrown players just asking to use the ball a little bit better than that.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose probably that example probably showed maybe the difference between the two teams. Ross Kenny just powered through 3 challenges there, but just unfortunately for him used the ball poorly.
So like running the gauntlet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Through anything that was thrown at him, as Colin Coughlin, familiar striking post from him off the left, sends it long inside as a grapper for possession. Good full-back play by Dan Morrissey on this occasion, and Ahane can come out with it, and then Morrissey cleverly enough wheels away out and can get the easy pass as Daniel Minahan gathers at the second attempt, sweeps it up the field looking for Tom Morrissey, but it's going to go shorter towards Cosgrove, and Key Punch after a ropey enough start to get on top in that battle. However, Morrissey is there, sends it to Cosgrove, punches all over him, and it's 2 Ballybrown men go to the 1 ball, and here is Tom Morrissey. Morrissey takes on his man, pull to the ground, and the advantage coming. Morrissey eventually gets his free, and it's Aidan O'Connor actually all the way back there working hard and working illegally with the bit of a rugby challenge, as it were. He wasn't happy with the decision, but I think it was a clear free, wasn't it?
No doubt about it. I mean, I suppose what you would classify as a tactical foul, really. Aidan O'Connor saw the goal threat and was going to limit the damage, really. And it's a free for Tom Morrissey now on almost a certain point, but a goal averted from a Ballybrown point of view. But Tom Morrissey's gone in full forward, shown a good bit of leadership there the last 5 minutes or so. This is probably his 3rd free now in the last few minutes, and they'll certainly need more of that from Tom over the next quarter of an hour or so.
Yeah, and of course, as we discussed with Johnny before the match, black card not in operation, so it's just a free, and a free that is converted by Morrissey, bring a hand to 19 points. Would you feel that while they've conceded 4 goals, they're going to need to score 1 at the other end to have any chance of getting the 2 points from this game? And given how last season went for them, 2 victories, victory in round 1 over Mungret St. Paul's at this very venue, and a victory over Doon when it was all said and done in the group in the 5th and final round, as Ross Kenny goes through the middle, nothing doing, says the referee, and Ahane turned the ball over, and it's Shane O'Grady, I think, who's able to gather it, and now eventually it's cleared up this side here, and ball is in the paw now of Mark Donlan. Donlan taking on his man Mikey Gavin, pulls him to the ground, and it's going to be a clear enough yellow card. And again, tactical foul, cynical foul, whatever you call it, it was probably the wise move from a Ballybrown point of view.
Yeah, again, goal threat averted, and I suppose it wouldn't be out of place in Thomond Park attacking like that, to be fair. And we've all been there, look, but I suppose food for thought there for other teams as well, looking at Ballybrown, definitely when you get in behind them. Probably suspicion, I suppose power and all of that is fantastic, but pace is another element that other teams will be looking at, and certainly when Ahane got in behind him there was certainly open country, and the gap was getting bigger, if anything. So
I think with the sub down the other end, Mikey Kiley is on for Ballybrown. Not sure who has vacated the pitch just yet, but bring you that one to have it, as Tom Morrissey converts another free, and it's 20 points now for Ahane, but they still trail by 5. Starting to wrestle a bit of dominance around this half forward line, starting to win a couple of breaks, but it scores is what they need, and Ballybrown go along with the puck out, and the hand stick is on it. Linesman Liam Berkery on the far side, who ref the game that we broadcast last night, gives the line ball to Ballybrown. They quickly get on with it. Here's Ross Griffin. Griffin puts it on to Hurley. Hand men chasing him, sends it back to Lee Doolan off his left hand side. Lee Doolan, he split the post, lovely. 2 points since he's come on, and the fresh legs combining there between Ross Griffin and Lee Doolan. Yeah,
and certainly, if there's any loose ball or passes going around the middle of the field and Lee Doolan gets it, he's a very good finisher, and another good score this time off his left.
And go quick as they can, really, with the puck out, as we are entering the closing stages. Where's that gone? It's gone over the bar. Not quite sure who hit it. Just lost sight of him here myself, but in fact it was Mikey Kiley.
Yeah, is on. Yeah.
Kill me now for missing that one, but a nice score. You might know the name if you're a neutral viewer. It's the strength and conditioning coach with Limerick senior hurlers in 21 and 2020. 2 All-Irelands under his tutelage. As the ball sent in by Josh Adams, and Adams has sent it to the right and wide. But Ballybrown just put the foot in the gas there with 2 quick points, and again keep loads of daylight between the sides. And they're going short there, but then they're going back to Coleraine, and he's going to go long, trying to land it down on the 45. Lee Doolan is up for Ballybrown, but there's a hand man there. Ross Griffin gets on it, gathers it. It's a hand man for company. Griffin just decides to let rip from the middle of the pitch. Ross Griffin, where's it gone? Straight over the bar. Well, the post don't move, as I say, and Ross Griffin knew exactly where he was and decided it was worth a rip from there, and a great score.
Yeah, great score, and again Ballybrown winning the high ball, winning the second ball, and a great score from Ross Griffin.
And there's a free coming for a hand. The referee may go for the pocket here. So 8 points now all of a sudden, and we're level on the number of scores, but the goals really doing the damage. 2 apiece for Brian Griffin and Barry Adams. The Twin Towers, maybe they might be dubbed, but their work here not done just yet, but they've certainly made a telling impact on the scoreboard this afternoon, as Tom Morrissey knows he has to move quickly to cut this gap for Ahane. They've been in this group since they won Group 2 in 2019, so they've done well as Morrissey lands this one. But they're just unable to crack that top 4 since they've come into the big 6, as you like. As Hederman surveys the option, sends it to the right, but there's a handman winning the race there. Was not everyone on the same channel there for Ballybrown, as ball back with Bickford. Back to Stephen Power, I should say, and Power sends it inside. It comes off in Ahane Hurley. Again, that battle of Cosgrove and Punch continues. Colin Coughlin is there as well for Ballybrown. His jersey's been pulled and everything. Who's going to come up with the sliotar? It's an Ahane man in a white helmet, and he has a go at the post, but easily dropped short to the goalkeeper. Here's Ross Griffin. Dummies one way, goes inside, and is he fouled on the way out? No, he's not. Referee says the play will go on. Mikey Kiley comes in there, and play allowed to flow by Johnny Murphy as David Hall gets up with it, and Hall get back to Adams and sends it down looking for Aidan O'Connor, and Barry Adams is there with him. It's going to run through for O'Connor. There could be danger here. O'Connor with that familiar little jink. Referee says play will continue. O'Connor has lost the ball, and referee allowing the play to flow, and eventually comes back to Adams. Oh, he's blocked down brilliantly by one of the Ahane defenders. It's one of the longest patches of play of the game, it seems. Who can get clean possession? Here's Mark Donlan for Ahane. Donlan off the right, diagonal ball looking for Tom Morrissey, who's joined by his inter-county teammate Colin Coughlin. Coughlin does well to spoil him. 2 strong men going for it. Morrissey does well with the roll pick, and gets his free inside. I think he's saying the guilty party is Keith Punch. It is indeed, and it's like no one wanted to score there. There was at either end. It's just very scrappy for a few minutes, but
yeah,
a yellow card for Punch for the foul on Morrissey. And again, Ballybrown giving away a free. And okay, they're probably going to concede a point from it, but it's nowhere near where Ahane could consider going for goal, and it kills the momentum as well that Ahane were looking to build up. Yeah,
without a doubt. But again, good use of his body there by Tom, and showed all his experience to win that ball and win the free. And they're not too far away from kind of being in the category of looking for a goal at this stage, but there's still only 6 points in it, with Ballybrown win on top. So Ballybrown haven't really put Ahane away. Ahane are still in it, but certainly they'd probably need a goal to ignite their chances at this stage.
Yeah, so Ahane with the last 2 points cutting the gap as Mark says back to 6. Next couple of scores will tell an awful lot as to where the points are going. Ballybrown will feel they're in a very, very strong position, and another point or two might just do it. Brian Griffin gets on it, takes on his man. Griffin off to the runner, which is Aidan O'Connor. Are they going for a 5th goal? They are. Aidan O'Connor low to the corner. Griffin the link man this time, and Aidan O'Connor, well, he made the mistake with the one that he pulled earlier. No mistake this time. Long way out. Knew exactly what he was doing into the bottom corner. Brilliant finish.
Yeah, heads up from Brian Griffin. Great use of the ball. A lovely pop pass out to Aidan O'Connor, who came at real speed, and a great finish off his left hand side. Yeah,
sometimes when you see the inter-county players, it's that initial 3 or 4 yard burst that they. Yeah. There's a foul on Keane Hederman. It's that initial burst that they have, maybe compared to I'm going to say the ordinary cup player, with the greatest respect, but those guys they've been drilling that all year.
That's it, and the ability, I suppose, to spot opportunities as well. Probably maybe a fraction of a second quicker than maybe lads who weren't exposed to that level of competition. So, in a lot of respects, there, some players would just accept that pass, put the ball over the bar, but Aidan O'Connor smelt blood, came at it at pace, took the ball at pace and buried it.
Did indeed, yeah. So another score. The ball has gone wide, though. Another score for him, and first goal of the championship for Aidan O'Connor. 5-0 now for Ballybrown, and they had plenty of goals last year in their Group 2, where they won the group with victories, 4 victories and a loss, and then they lost in the quarter-final against Kilmallock, narrowly enough, it must be said, in McNeville Park, but goals were the order along the way, and Aidan was part of that with 361. And Morrissey probably knows that their race is run, but you never know what can happen in a game of hurling, but they'll need this one and plenty more in the next 6 minutes of competition here. And it's Kilmallock up during the week for Ahane, another game which we will bring to you on Limerick GATV, as ball is lifted and striked by Tom Morrissey. Another one for him, as we just have a sub for Ballybrown. James Cockton being replaced, and in his place is David Hartnett, wearing number 19. So Hartnett in at wing back for the closing stages, just trying to see this one out and Ballybrown a platform maybe to attack the other games in this group. They've a battle next with Napier next Friday.
Yeah, and I'd say, to be fair to Ballybrown at this stage, they look to be a good bit stronger than last year with a lot more players back. They look forward to that game with real confidence. I mean, not a lot of people will expect them to win it, but it's not a free shot, but it's a real barometer for them to see, how much progress they've made. And certainly they'll be looking for a good performance. Obviously they'll be looking to win, but certainly they'll be looking for a good performance to build momentum facing into the rest of the campaign. And looking at the rest of the teams there, I don't think Ballybrown will fear anyone. And certainly they'll go into latter games with confidence, because they have most of their best players on the pitch fit this year and ready, and they seem to be in root health.
Yeah, as Aidan O'Connor is going to have a go at this free. Gentle enough breeze, as we've discussed throughout the game, at his back, and strikes through it, but has it just tailed? I think it has indeed, yeah, and another wide knocked up for Ballybrown. There's deficiencies in this performance, are far from perfect, but it looks to be a winning one at this point. Any day you score 5 goals, you're doing something right, it must be said. And Key Punch trying to rise it, and is decked in the process of doing so. Not sure who the guilty party is. Actually, I think it's John O'Connor.
No, it's not. It's
in fact, it's number 13, yeah,
Mark Donlan.
Apologies to John O'Connor, nothing there on this occasion. But
it's the unstoppable force against the immovable object.
Yeah, thankfully Punch is up on his feet. The Desmond League's Oscar trainer, player of the season last season at soccer, so accomplished in a couple of codes is Keith, as O'Connor hopes for a bit more luck with this one a little bit further back. And again with that familiar follow through. Where is it going to go? And it's the same result. It's tail to the right and wide, as the clock ticks on to the 58 minutes. And I'm just going to ask Mark to start thinking about his player of the match for this one. We'll reveal that in a couple of minutes, but I have a feeling it'll be a man wearing a white jersey, as Ahane look to finish with a bit of pride here. Ball recycled back to Kieran Barry, sweeps it up the field, and Mikey Gavin is underneath it, but was through to Josh Adams, playing as a little bit of a +1 back there. The clearance is not great. Here's Kieran Barry. Barry's going to try to go for goal here, and he does. He's gone straight through the goalkeeper's clutches, and Kieran Barry gives Ahane a faint bit of hope. Back to 5 points.
Yeah, good persistence there from Ahane, pushing up and putting real pressure on the out ball from Ballybrown, and a good turnover, and Kieran Barry obviously getting onto the ball, and a good finish, even though probably, to be fair, I think Keane Henderson would be disappointed with himself.
Yeah, actually looked like he stepped even beyond it. He maybe thought it was going more to the corner.
I think so, yeah, I think so.
Power won through anyway. That's the case, as Will McCormack clears it up the field. McCormack looks for Cosgrove, and Punch wins the race this time. Ross Griffin is there. And will seek another goal, which would set up a huge stoppage time period. And by my watch, we're now into the final minute of the 60. There's a chance for, I think it's Mark Donlan, and Donlan's effort though not the one they wanted at this point, and it has gone to the left and wide. So Heatherman decides to just slow it up ever so slightly, and maybe one more point should do it for Ballybrown, just to repel what Ahane have thrown at them. Good score by Kieran Barry there a minute ago, but could it be too late? Brian Griffin pulls it out of the sky. Aidan O'Connor, again, as Mark alluded earlier, just has that ability to read it, and Ballybrown link well here is David Hall. He's going to just flick this over the bar. He checks back, he prefers it on his left. Here's a free coming for him, and Hall with the effort, I think he's got it. Indeed he has. David Hall with a second point this afternoon, and just escaped any cover and was an easy target for a pass, and made them pay with a lovely point.
Yeah, Aidan O'Connor again evading the cover with reading the second ball in behind and giving a good pass, and an excellent finish again. And Ballybrown, to be fair, full value for their win. Obviously they'll be very happy with their performance. The goal is probably the difference between their team, but I suppose when you kind of drill down into it for the second half, bar freeze really. Ahane have no real threat from play, even though in the first half Jack Cosgrave and John O'Connor were really impressive, but Ballybrown managed to get the grips with them, and Tom from play as well, Tom Morrissey, and after that no real threat from play as such, even though they'll be happy enough with their tally. If you were told before the game began that Ahane would score 123, well, definitely they would fancy their chances of winning that, but unfortunately just too leaky at the back, especially in the first half. Yeah, 5 goals really doing the damage. Ball inside towards Tom Morrissey, just couldn't get it into his left hand as Josh Adams and now Lee Doolan are there for Ballybrown. Here's David Hartnett, carries it out and left-handed strikes it up the field, looking for Brian Griffin. There's plenty of jostling with him and Shane O'Grady. There's a foul there by Griffin, and Ahane in their interest now to just get this up the field pretty promptly. Ballybrown have plenty of numbers backed up. They have an entire half back line, and then they have 4 or 5 in fact back inside maybe the arc, as it were, inside the D. There's an early engagement there, an illegal one, and Johnny Murphy decided to have a look at the landing zone rather than the ball. Wise refereeing, and he saw an indiscretion, and it's going to be a free out for Ballybrown. And Mark, I'm going to say that's all she wrote here this afternoon. I think that's probably a Ahane's race run, unfortunately, for them. Yeah, I think so. And again, very well organised there. Ballybrown getting men behind the ball, and one up for the ball and a couple waiting for the break, and they've been very good in their understanding of that all day long, because they picked up most breaks. And when it was a battle for the break as well, they've managed to win those, because they seem to just be a little bit physically stronger than Ahane. So yeah, Ahane, good understanding in their play, and have used their advantages very well. O'Connor going to go very, very close. The umpire is leaning back, and now the umpire is picking up the flag. Well, it's his own 45, just like that, Yeah. There is the final whistle, and it's Aidan O'Connor with the last score of the afternoon, bringing Ballybrown 2-5-18. So full-time score, Ballybrown 5-18, Ahane 123. Mark, sum it up for me. Where was this game won for Ballybrown? Asher goals win games, that's the bottom line. And in the first half, Ballybrown were able to open up with goals, and especially playing probably not into the scoring goals and against the wind. When you manage to get goals like that and get ahead at half time, it's a huge advantage, and certainly Ballybrown went in at half time with their tails up. A good spread of scorers all over the field. The Hands struggled for scores outside of, as I said there, John O'Connor and Jack Cosgrave and Tom Morrissey from frees, and on the balance of play, you'd have to say Ballybrown by far the better team, and certainly answered a lot of questions, and would be very, very happy with their performance today. Yeah, and Mark, just going to ask you for your man of the match, the Streamsport.ie man of the match. I'm sure it's a man wearing white. That's for sure, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, they had good performers all over the team, all over the field. Lee Doolan, when he came in, was very, 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 very good as well. But I'd have to say, on the balance of play, Aidan O'Connor gave a very, very good performance, I suppose, both at midfield in the first half and centre forward in the second half. I suppose for the purist, a lovely display of kind of pure ball striking, and a lot of people go to the games just to see that alone. So from a skill-based point of view, absolutely outstanding display from Aidan. Couple of wides there towards the end, but that being said, a fantastic all-around display from Aidan, both from frees and from play, and really capped it off with a fantastic goal in the second half.
Yeah, there was the ceiling goal already, wasn't it? The fifth goal for Ballybrown. So my thanks to Mark Foley. We'll try and catch a word with Aidan in a minute. We'll have the highlights for you momentarily, but thanks very much to Mark for joining me. Thanks to Johnny, our camera, and everyone back at base. Don't forget, later this evening at 7 p.m. will be the repeat of last year's county final, brought to you on the stream by StreamSport.ie. That'll be the meeting of Doon and Napier Street. That's at 7 o'clock. But signing off for now is Tom Clancy. We'll try and catch a word with Aidan momentarily. Talk to you later, Mark. Close attention, and a second shot at the post from Jack Cosgrove. Has he made it 2 from 2? I think he has. Indeed he has. Plenty of games, senior games played here down the years, and a chance for Morrissey to make it 3 from 3, and third point on the trot. But there's nobody there, and a chance for captain Kieran Barry to open the shoulders. And Kieran Barry, has he split the post? I think he has. Kieran Barry sends it around, gives it to Ross Kenny. Kenny breaking through the middle. What's he going to go for? Kenny goes with the hand pass to Barry Adams. Barry Adams back of the net. Lovely. Conor Ryan and Conor Heffernan are the midfield partners, while Tom Morrissey is wearing 11 as Ballybrown come up the other end and look for their reply. Are aware of them as Morrissey gets through. This is Tom, and off his right with the advantage. Doesn't need it, I don't think. He slatted it over. His first from play. Put their hand to it just yet, and now Ahane will have a chance. And here is O'Connor off the right, nonchalantly enough, and floats it lovely. And floats guy races through. Advantage coming for the pull there, and O'Connor goes through and flicks it off the left. Look at that for a score. He carried it from off to Josh Adams off his right, sends it in. There's a 2-on-2 inside. Barry Adams fights for it. Brian Griffin is also fighting for it. Who's going to get a possession? Brian Griffin has it. Brian Griffin pulled on it, back of the net. Brian Griffin. It's dangerous. Will he put it into his hand? He does. He looks for the post. Does he catch it well? The crowd on the far side like it. Lovely score by Barry Adams. Very play. And it comes back to Kieran Barry. Now he's going to have a go. Kieran Barry off his right. Where's that going? Straight over the green spot here in Clahan. Kieran Barry there from Conor Bickford, I think it was. In fact, it's Conor Ryan, I should say. And Ryan off the right. What's he done with it? Well, he's won his own ball, and he's now hit his own score. Conor Ryan.
The edge of the square. So yeah, that's I suppose good enough strategy from Ballybrown, and they'll be hoping to capitalise on it.
Yeah, Ballybrown managed this season by Kevin Lally, who was a selector under Henry Shefflin. Ball's going into Brian Griffin. Griffin doesn't even need to gather it. Missed by Morrissey. The let ball passed off to Aidan O'Connor. Is he going to take his point here? I think he is. Aidan O'Connor does. Half thought about, I think, bearing time. Sends it off to, but it's been intercepted. His chance of a strike on goal, and has that gone over? I think it has. Starting to try and wrestle back some control of that battle as John O'Connor has the space and sweeps it over. And John O'Connor wearing the number 12 shirt on a day like today. Ball comes down to this left channel, right at the sideline. And Tom Morrissey, I think it is. The Ballybrown man myself, I'm not sure. Was I on the same diet as these lads? But the ball is swept inside. Going to go close. Is it going to go all the way? It is. It's Ross. Find one of his shooters. That's John O'Connor. We've seen what he can do already. This is off the left hand side from the centre of the field. And O'Connor, scores have gone to a hand. So this is an important one for O'Connor. Goalkeeper gives it the little flick of the hurley. He knows that's gone straight for company. Sends it back to Conor Ryan. Conor Ryan from the middle of the field. Where's that going to go? And it's an immediate response. Great work by Morrissey. Lines this one up. And Morrissey, one of the more simpler routines, but the 20 off his left. That's his favourite side. And David Hall dispatches that one lovely. Good link-up play with Aidan O'Connor. An attempt. So does well. Hand passes back to Ross Kenny. And Kenny off the left. Does he fire it through the sky? He does. Lovely score. Straight over the bar.
Player up.
Ballybrown get on it straight away through Aidan O'Connor. Gets the hand pass, and Aidan O'Connor starts as he means. Follow through lovely from O'Connor as it just tailed. Oh, it's hit the post. Where's it gone? And goes through this simple routine and makes it. You're very welcome back to Clahan. We're here after the Ballybrown and Ahane match. I'm joined by the player of the match, Aidan O'Connor. Aidan, first round of the championship, you suppose you come into, you don't know where you're at. You delivered a performance there and you got the victory to match. You must be happy with that.
Yeah, that was the most important thing coming into today. I suppose the last couple of years, the likes of Munger, Kildimo, they always came up against Ahane the first round, and they kind of fell at the first round, and the momentum builds after that, and losing becomes a bit of a habit, I suppose. So we were just kind of focused on getting that win first day out and kind of trying to build that momentum, that winning habit.
Yeah, 5 goals in total. I know you got the 5th one there, but before that, Barry Adams and Brian Griffin did some serious damage. I mean, once you realised that once the ball went in there, they were capable of doing something. I mean, 3 goals in the first half, that gave you the platform then for the victory.
Yeah, very important. We said we target goals. I suppose 2 boys inside, they're massive men, like just high balling on top of them. They're well able to win their own ball. Like we reaped the rewards of it there today, but I suppose we have to back it up now next week against St. Patrick.
Yeah, you're obviously coming up from Group 2. You were in the quarter final last year. I suppose I know you're saying Ahane have been up at this group, I think, since 2019 when they won Group 2. They've that experience of playing at the top table. I suppose you find there's a step up between the groups. With the greatest respect to everyone in Group 2, these teams are, it's the top 5 or 6 teams you're coming into.
Yeah, I suppose like getting that experience against the top teams, getting to play 5 games is obviously massive. It's still a good standard in Senior B, geez, don't get me wrong, but you want to be playing the top teams week in, week out. I suppose when you're not playing them, when you're coming meeting them in the quarter final, there is that step up you have to get used to. So I suppose when you're up there, you want to get as much experience and bring it on if you get to a quarter or semi-final. Yeah,
talk to me about your own goal there. I think Ahane maybe were coming, and it was probably a vital score at that point, but Brian Griffin spotted your run, or maybe you spotted Brian Griffin, and you decided to take the shot on early. I don't think anyone was maybe expecting you to shoot from so early.
Yeah, I suppose Brian just caught the puck out. Brian wins the ball from puck out 9 times out of 10. There's no moving out of the way, so I suppose I had a bit of a breeze behind me and just hit it and went in.
Yeah. Talk to me. So round 2 is Na Piarsaigh. We've know all about Na Piarsaigh for the last I suppose maybe 10-15 years. Obviously narrowly beaten in the county final last year. So you'll know that today was good, but it's about backing it up the next day and trying to improve on all aspects of your game heading into a team like that.
Yeah, and Piarsaigh have been the standard bearers for the last 10-15 years, I suppose, so you're always going to be targeting that game. And look, we didn't hurl for 60 minutes today, but that's what you'd be looking for to get a victory against the Piarsaigh. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Aidan, the player of the match. Tom Clancy signing off here in Clahan. A reminder that later this evening will be Doon versus the Piarsaigh at 7 p.m. on streamsport.ie. He lifts and strikes and doesn't do much to affect the Netherman. Goes short and gets the puck out back. Looks for Ross Kenny, and Kenny pulls it out of the sky. People will of a certain vintage will remember his father, Spider, hurling for Ballybrown, sends it inside to Barry Adams. Adams is going to turn his man. Adams dispatches it to the net. Look at that.
Great score. To stymie his influence. Yeah,
here's Josh Adams in open country, and Adams, well, he didn't need a second invitation. Evan looks for a support runner. That's Lee Doolan. Opens the shoulders off the right. The support on the far side from Clorine, I like it. As Lee Doolan has made an
impact. He's around for a while now. When you're on top defending a lead like that.
Oh, good response at the other end, and it's a great score by John O'Connor. His 4th, 7 to the good, as Morrissey tries to escape Colin Coughlin and does well to do so. Off his left, umpire is going to reach for that flag. Brilliant. After a difficult season last year with that injury, and it comes out to Ross Kenny. Kenny gets on it. Kenny, what's he going to do? He's going to knock it over, is he? He is indeed.
Certainly need more of that from Tom over the next quarter of an hour or so.
Yeah, and of course, as we discussed with Johnny before the match, Mikey Kiley is on for Ballybrown. Not sure who has vacated pitch just yet, but bring you that one to have it. As Tom Morrissey and men chasing him, sends it back to Lee Doolan off his left hand side. Lee Doolan, he split the post, lovely. 2 points since he's come on, and go quick as they can really with the puck out as we are entering the closing stages. Where has that gone? It's gone over the bar. It's a hand man for company. Griffin just decides to let rip from the middle of the pitch. Ross Griffin, where's it gone? Straight over the bar. Won Group 2 in 2019, so they've done well as Morrissey lands this one.
And showed all his experience to win that ball and win the free, and they're not too far away from kind of being in the category of looking for a goal at this stage.
That is where the points are going. Ballybrown will feel they're in a very, very strong position, and another point or two might just do it. Brian Griffin gets on it, takes on his man. Griffin off to the runner, which is Aidan O'Connor. Are they going for a 5th goal? They are. Aidan O'Connor low to the corner. And another game which we will bring to you on Limerick GATV as ball is lifted and striked by, sweeps it up the field, and Mikey Gavin is underneath it, but was through to Josh Adams, playing as a little bit of a +1 back there. Oh, the clearance is not great. Here's Kieran Barry. Barry's going to try to go for goal here, and he does. He's gone straight through the goalkeeper. Barry checks back. He prefers it on his left. Here's a free coming for him, and Hall with the effort. I think he's got it. Indeed he has. David Hall with a second point this afternoon.
O'Sullivan Centre at Clarina, your one-stop shop. From Rooster's Peri Peri to Caramico Pizza, Centre at Clarina satisfies every craving. Pamper your pooch at our wash and wag station, or grab a coffee at the Creamery Cafe and relax in our seating area. Experience it all at Centre at Clarina. Ballysimon Tyres, Ballysimon Road, Limerick. Catering for all cars, vans and commercial vehicles. 24-hour breakdown assist tyres and batteries. Telephone 061 311 726. Lee's Bar, The Night's Inn, The Square, Newcastle West. Telephone 069 62450, where all sportsmen meet. Brian Healy Electrical are driven to provide our clients with a complete quality, cost-effective electrical service installation and after-sales care service which is second to none, while maintaining safety for all and cooperation with all relevant parties.